I used to be severely overweight in school and college. I had a lot of personal issues growing up and reacted in very unhealthy ways. I ate far too much, never exercised, and when I got to college, I started drinking. Much everyone in the town I grew up in knew me as the fat party girl. A couple years ago, I moved away for a new job and started seeing a therapist. With her help, I started making lifestyle changes and getting a grip on myself. Part of this was going low contact with my family, who I realized in therapy were major contributors to my issues. I do not use social media anymore and have not seen my family since I moved. Another part was finally coming out of the closet, and my new girlfriend has been hugely supportive and a big help in getting me into fitness and eating better. It's still a lifelong journey. Point is, since the last time I saw my family, I've lost well over 100 pounds, probably closer to 200, and I've come out of the closet and dyed my hair. Today, I got a wedding invitation for my big sister and her longtime boyfriend, as part of a long email catching me up on what's been happening in our little hometown since I left. Part of the email were some of the jokes we used to make about my weight and drinking. I don't know if I want to go back to a pit of what I now understand was a full-on emotional abuse and unhealthy coping mechanisms. I'm afraid that I might be seen as upstaging my sister. My mom always used to make fun of, quote, people who think they're better than us. My girlfriend thinks it might be good to get some closure on this part of my life and patch up relationships that I can, but has promised to support me with whatever I decide to do. Has anyone been in a situation like this and know whether it was worth it? Thank you everyone who gave me a lot of good advice. Sorry for not responding in that thread. Real life's been a whirlwind lately. Yay, someone at the office tested positive for COVID. Long story short, I did as a Redditor suggested and did a Zoom call with my big sister. Ostensibly to catch up, but really to get a handle on how things have changed. My sister was actually really great and supportive about my changes. She apologized immediately for the jokes when she saw how much weight I've lost and was super supportive about me not drinking anymore and coming out of the closet. She's not the problem at all. The problem is our parents. From what my sister said, my mom especially has been steadily alienating everyone in the family. When I left, she found a new target. It was my little brother. When he joined the military and left, she started going after my cousins. My big sister, the one who's having the wedding, has always been my mom's favorite. But she says that she's opened her eyes to how my mom treats people and is planning to move away from her after the wedding. Our parents are mostly paying for it, by the way. I've agreed with my sister that I'm not coming to the wedding. We agreed that it would give Mom a new target to make a huge scene over. And there will be an open bar at the wedding when I don't trust myself to be around that kind of thing. We're now planning for my sister and husband to come visit me in my new city, sometime after the wedding. Thank you all for the advice and support. I am pretty sure I'm the a-hole, and I did not think something this bad would happen. This happened about a year ago. Me and my boyfriend have been together for 5 years. His sister, Claire, has a 1-year-old baby named Alex. Claire's a single mom and sometimes drops her baby off at our place when she has some errands to run. I'll be honest here, I have no clue how to take care of a baby. I play with the baby, but other than that, my boyfriend usually takes care of Alex. My boyfriend work is on site, so he usually isn't home for 4 days, and then he comes home for 3 days. One day, Claire asked my boyfriend if she can drop off Alex for the day. Boyfriend was supposed to leave for work that evening. Since she said that she'll pick up the baby by the evening, he did not mention that. Big mistake. He left around 5 p.m. I was waiting for Claire and just kept calling. She picked up the phone around 8 p.m. and told me that she went to a place a few hours away with her friends. She told me to tell boyfriend to take care of Alex for the next 3 to 4 days. I told her boyfriend already left for work. Then she just told me, quote, "Then you take care of Alex. I'll be back in 4 days." And then she hung up on me and switched off her phone to airplane mode. I freaked out real hard. I cannot call boyfriend because he is on an unreachable on-site. Neither of us have family in the state that we could call. I called a few friends, but no one gave me anything helpful. The bag she gave with Alex it had diapers only in it. The baby was crying her head off, and I did not even know what to feed her safely. I literally did not know what else or how else to do. So I called the police, and I told them what happened. They directed me to a social worker's number. While this social worker was helping me take care of the baby, the cops I spoke to called the cops where she was located. The cops found her high on marijuana, and she had enough on her for them to classify it as possession and intent to sell. At it, I don't think she actually sold anything. She probably just brought enough for her and her friends for the next few days. Well, she did not get any jail time. She had to do community service and pled guilty. Unfortunately, that also meant she got a felony conviction. This got her fired, and she hasn't been able to hold on to a good job since. In my defense, I only wanted her to come back because I did not want anything to happen to Alex because, well, I'm not capable of taking care of her. I did not think she was doing anything that would get her arrested. In her defense, she has Alex at our home plenty of times, so it's not unreasonable for her to think that I would not have a problem just taking care of Alex for a few days. Also, this was probably the first time she took a break for herself since Alex was born. My boyfriend was mad in the beginning, but came around later. Their parents also think I wasn't in the wrong. She obviously hates me and thinks I ruined her life. Well, because she wanted a break for a few days. This got brought up recently at a family dinner, which is why I ask. Guys, am I the a-hole? My wife and I bought a 4-bedroom house in PA that my son lives in. Our son went to college in PA and wanted to stay in the area. So, we bought the house as a second home. We live in New Jersey and commute into Manhattan for work. We figured that he would have a place to live and we could visit ever so often and spend some quality time together. We pay the taxes and services/maintenance on the house. Our son pays for groceries and the house utilities. All was going well for a few years. Our son meets a girl and they get serious. We met her and she seems nice enough. Then, the announcement of their engagement, and she moves into the house with our son. Now for the problem. The wedding. We hold a little get-to-know-you barbecue at the PA house. My son and daughter are there, as are our son's fiancé and her parents and sisters. We all seem to be getting along well. My wife, daughter, and the fiancé go into the house, along with her mother and sister and my son. A few minutes later, my wife and daughter come out really upset. They come over and tell me we're leaving and driving back to New Jersey right now. I try to find out what happened. Once we get back to New Jersey and they calm down a bit, they tell me that our son and his fiancée, along with her family, don't want us at the wedding. According to what I was told, quote, "We're not their kind of people." I was livid. I called my son and asked him what the heck this was about. He tells me that their family feels that we're not good enough and will embarrass them at the family wedding, and that we're all uninvited. I let a week go by just to calm myself down. Then I drove back to PA. The new future in-laws are in the house along with the fiancé. It appears they are all moved into the house. They ask me why I'm there. I tell them that since we're not invited to the wedding, I was coming over to talk to my son. They tell me to leave their house. I lost it. I told them, you know what? You have 30 days to get out. Tell my son I'm selling the house and he could find somewhere else to live with all of you. I go to the realtor in town and list the house for sale. They call my son at work and tell him what I just said. Apparently, they thought that he owned the house. He calls me and asks, Dad, why are you selling the house? I tell him, I paid for it along with the taxes on it and it's mine. He was living there rent-free, but since he doesn't want us in his new life, he was to get out. I tell him the same as I told his future in-laws. 30 days or I'll get a lawyer and get them evicted. Am I the a-hole for taking a hard stance on this? He is my son, but the in-laws seem to take over and we no longer count.